elections, where several Karnataka seats are becoming vacant. The visit comes at a time when there is fresh political buzz over the power-sharing arrangement between Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar. Some Congress leaders are reportedly pressing the party leadership to clarify whether any leadership transition will happen after the government completes 3 years in office. There's also speculation that the Congress leadership may discuss a cabinet expansion or reshuffle, balancing factions within the Karnataka Congress and preparations for future elections. Officially, however, party sources are presenting the Delhi trip as a routine political consultation linked to the Rajya Sabha planning and organisational matters.
I am invited to Delhi. Tomorrow there is a meeting by 11 o'clock. I don't know the subject. But I am invited. Last night, Mr. Venugopal called me and intimated me the date and meeting.
See, what is wrong? See, what is wrong if our leaders, legislators, council members go meet our high command? You should be worried if they go to Keshav Krupa. You should be worried if they go seek appointment of Mr. Mohan Bhagwat. If I don't go meet my high command, who else will? नोटिस नहीं भाई, इनविटेशन आया है, बुलाए हैं. अगर हमारा हाई कमांड हमारे नेताओं को नहीं बुलाएंगे तो और किसको बुलाएंगे? अभी राज्यसभा सीट है, काउंसिल के लिए सीट है, तो वो सब डिस्कशन करना पड़ेगा ना.
And now we have Dr. Basavaraj Itnal, senior journalist, joining us alongside News 9's own Brijesh Pandey. Brijesh and Basavaraj Itnal, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. I'm going to begin with Brijesh. Brijesh, again, we are here again with this conversation, aren't we?
Honestly speaking, Krishna, I think, media has literally given up. At least I have given up, but the number of times, there was a potential change, and the very next hour, there's a complete pouring of water, cold water over DK's, chief ministerial ambition. I think this is in line with, this must have happened at least more than 100 times in the last couple of years. I don't think that the Congress High Command is in any mood, or they don't have that kind of flex to make sure that there is a title change as far as the state of Karnataka is concerned. They are very well aware of the caste compulsions which the High Command feel, and I think, in this particular meeting, they might, what we are gathering is that they might offer a Rajya Sabha seat to DK's brother. They may give him, a couple of more important portfolios so as to placate him. But what we have been given to understand is that, yes, talk will be on who will make the Rajya Sabha cut. The talk will be on the potential cabinet expansion. But I personally don't feel that there is going to be any kind of, change as far as the post of Chief Minister is concerned.
Okay, fair enough. Dr. Basavaraj Itnal, tell us, routine meeting? Routine high command meeting?
Krishna, there's nothing routine about these kind of meetings. Nobody goes to Delhi to routinely meet the party high command.
Maybe have chole bhature or something, I don't know.
With so many tasks ahead in Bangalore, nobody routinely goes to Delhi, the chief minister or even DCM for that matter. There is some substance behind this meeting, and it is very reasonably speculated that there is a change of guard in the plan, because that talk has been going on from day one, and it doesn't seem to be ending any soon, till there is a logical conclusion to it. What I'm hearing is that one thing is all these political matters, like Brijesh said, the Rajya Sabha seats allocations and GB elections, and more importantly, government of Karnataka is planning to go to Supreme Court in regards to SIR. So all those things maybe they could be discussing there. But in the meantime, what is happening is, in the aftermath of Kerala, swearing-in ceremony, there was some talk that the party high command spoke to both D.K. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, and they invited them to Delhi to thrash out one solution to this. Because this has gone on for long, like Brijesh said, we're all fed up. And if journalists are fed up, imagine the people. We are showing it, every week, at least every week. There is one, a headline regarding this. So people are really fed up. The government machinery gets very fatigued because of this, and party also requires a clarity as to who is going to lead them to 2028 elections. So all these things needs to be addressed by the party high command. So probably that's expected. And in the same time, what some of the MLAs, senior MLAs, have told various media outlets is that they are going to give an ultimatum to the party high command for cabinet reshuffle. You know, people like Ashok Pattan or various other MLAs, they said that we're going to give it is a do or die situation.
Yeah.
Do I understand what is die here? I don't understand.
Okay. Brijesh, you know, this situation has a very clear timeline to it. This can't go on forever. You know, in fact, this is an occasion. This is 3 years of completion of this government. And, you know, after 3 years, the last 1.5 years have been talk of this only. You know, and another 2 years are left. Roughly, you know, something will have to be decided soon this time around, isn't it? There is more urgency possibly this time around. Be it the cabinet reshuffle that they want to do, or be it this larger question about, you know, who is going to lead the party into the next elections.
Well, I think, you know, the most important question for the Congress party are to, A, they will have to, you know, send a solid message and a very clear message to end this confusion, whether there is going to be change of guard or whether there is not going to be a change of guard. Because, you know, this oscillation between there will be a change of guard and there is not going to be a change of guard, what is happening is that it is creating a lot of indiscipline within the rank and the files of the party, A. B, I think, you know, there must be a cabinet reshuffle for the simple reason that, you know, you need to accommodate senior MLAs, you know, who have not been able to get inside the cabinet, who have not been able to be part of the party power apparatus and be part of the state government. Because this kind of disgruntlement and the fact that, you know, for the last 2 years out of 3, we have only been, you know, talking about the tussle between DKS and Siddaramaiah. This doesn't augur well for the party, because the party also knows that you are, you know, you're literally staring at next round of election in year and a half, max to max. Because the second, you know, the state gets into election mode, then whatever you do, you know, it doesn't generate the kind of positive upliftment as far as the morale of the cadre and morale of the leader is concerned. So I think, you know, time has also come for the high command to take a side, take a very clear side about, you know, which way they want to go, whether there is going to be any kind of change of guard. Or if it is not happening, I think a clear communication need to be told to, you know, the party rank and file that there is not going to be no change come whatsoever. And you know, it's completely useless to talk about it rather than, you know, go and focus on governance, because you're literally staring now at the next elections. And I think this divided house is not sending a very positive message as far as the state of Karnataka is concerned.
Absolutely, Dr. Basavaraj Jitnal, the only analogy I can draw over here is the way, you know, the Kerala chief minister was selected. Clearly, three options, 3 strong leaders. They took their time. They quote unquote built the consensus that, you know, no matter who's chosen, the party remains together. You know, in that sense, over the last year and a half of this drama, you know, is that what the Congress High Command has been trying to do? Sort of, you know, like build. This is a longer game than what happened with the elections in Kerala. But then clearly, is there some kind of long-term consensus building that seems to have been done over the last 1 year that, you know, don't be so sure of this, you know, leadership? You know, we might have other plans in mind.
That is, Krishna, very much inevitable for the Congress High Command to build a consensus here, whether it is for the cabinet expansion or for the change of guard. Because if the change of guard happens, it must have blessing of Siddaramaiah. If there is going to be a cabinet expansion, it must have blessings of DK Shivakumar. One is not exclusively possible of the other. Cabinet expansion is not possible until and unless this leadership change issue is addressed. And for that, if the Congress really intends to send a clear message to the cadre and to the people of Karnataka, in Delhi, they must hold a joint press conference between DK Shivakumar, Siddaramaiah, Rahul Gandhi and Kharge. In that joint conference, if they declare that yes, there is going to be a change of guard, this and this person is going to be next CM, or no, there is no change of guard, and there will be cabinet expansion or whatever. That kind of clarity is essential for Karnataka right now. Because this kind of confusion, in this confused state, the organization is ill-equipped to face the 2028 elections. That's a serious problem the Congress is facing here.
And Brijesh, that is going to be one crucial election. You know, let's put that focus on that. It's going to be extremely important. Be it the cabinet reshuffle, accommodating so many senior ministers and ensuring the party is together, apart from the power tussle between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar. It's getting the rest of the senior leaders in the party in the best possible shape and getting the party in the best possible shape to prepare for campaigning, which is again 12 months away, max.
Well, I think, what the Congress High Command need to do is that they have to read a riot act as far as this confusion is concerned. If they're not going to do it right now, then I think, it's going to be very late for the party to get up in a fit mode as far as the next election is concerned. As Basavaraj rightly pointed out, that there has to be a press conference, attended by all the who's who of the party, and a clear name announcement whether you are going to go for a change or whether you're not going to go for a change, and who all is going to make the cut as far as the next cabinet is concerned. You have to understand that senior leaders and powerful MLAs also need to be accommodated in the state cabinet. Nobody is there to do a Jan Seva as far as not being part of cabinet is concerned. Everybody has aspirations. So all those aspirations have to be taken into account, and they have to be taken into account right now, because there's not enough time left for the central high command to prevaricate over the issue and allow this confusion to fester more, because otherwise then it'll be a touch too late for the party to to whether they take any decision. It will not help the party in the next assembly election.
Well, Dr. Basavaraj Itnal, I just want to understand at this stage, there is also the Rajya Sabha seats that are getting vacant. There can be many political, affirmations that can come from the Congress High Command, be it the selection of seats for Rajya Sabha or the cabinet reshuffle, or a clear, cut and right clarity, as it were, for who is going to be the leader of this party, isn't it?
What I'm picking up from my sources and the kind of chatter that goes in political circles is that, number one, just in a scenario where if Siddaramaiah is moved and D.K. Shivakumar is made Chief Minister, Siddaramaiah would be accommodated in Rajya Sabha and he will work alongside Mr. Kharge in the parliament. That's one scenario. Another thing that I'm hearing is that for last 3-4 decades, there was not even a single Lingayat leader in Rajya Sabha. So that's one thing the party might consider, because Lingayat votes are very crucial, and for 3-4 decades there was not a single Lingayat leader in Rajya Sabha. So that's another thing that I'm hearing about, and there are various other claimants for that Lingayat's quota thing, but that's different debate altogether. But this is what I'm picking up. If they are making D.K. Shivakumar Chief Minister, either they will move Siddaramaiah to Delhi in Rajya Sabha to work along with Mr. Kharge, who is definitely quite older than Siddaramaiah, and cabinet reshuffle happens anyways. Once the Chief Minister resigns, the cabinet is dissolved, and then Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is at will. He can constitute his own cabinet. But this Lingayat quota is also an important factor that could emerge in following days.
Yeah, okay. If that were to happen, the only hope is that Karnataka also doesn't go anywhere close to resort politics. Once the cabinet is dissolved, and then you're like, okay, wait a second, which way are you going to go over here? But then that's the most viable solution. Like what the BJP did with Nitish Kumar in Bihar, is probably the solution that Karnataka needs at this stage.
Yeah, probably so, because because this Ahinda and all this guarantee politics is championed by Mr. Siddaramaiah, and the political reason could be to bring him to the national scene, so that this entire push for welfare politics can be given a face and on a national scene. So Siddaramaiah becomes inevitable for that. So that could be the rationale, and at the same time there is, for all practical reasons, there is a pact between D.K. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, because both of them have not denied of a pact, of an agreement. They might have obfuscated the question, but they have not denied in clear terms that there is an agreement. So all this is known. So if it doesn't happen, it sends a very wrong signals to the cadre, from the party high command, because there is a gentleman's word. These agreements are not signed on a stamp paper before witnesses. This is a gentleman's word. If people are not keeping up this gentleman's word, that sends a very wrong message to the party and cadre. At the same time, this we have seen earlier. This word of mouth vachan, the gentleman's word. That's exactly how the Yediyurappa rose to power in Karnataka, because Kumaraswamy, refused to respect the gentleman's word. So Karnataka people are, they attach a lot of importance to this word, gentleman's word, So all that needs to be respected, and I don't know how the party sees that, because Siddaramaiah is planning another Ahinda convention in Hubli next month. So all that, Siddaramaiah has always done this. Okay. Every time there is a threat to his chair, or there is a question mark about his authority, he has organized a convention. He has organized a huge mela, whether it is Hubli for the first time he organized when he was in JDS. Then in near Mysore, when there was an accusation of Muda against him. Then Siddaramaiah, all those things. So these are all his show of strength. He will do that. But D.K. Shivakumar's argument is that I don't, flex my muscles for the party. I am a party loyalist. That is his argument. So let's see how the High Command says it.